Annyeong newbies! Today I'm going to show you how to turn this to this.
AKA how to meal prep like a Korean. Let's cook.
In this video, we're gonna go through 1. Why meal prep? 2. How to plan it. 3. The grocery shopping process. 4. Prepping. And last but not least, a week of me eating. Are you a broke college student who is struggling to feed yourself? Or are you living alone, spending all your hard-worked earnings on mid-delivery food? Or do you lack a Korean grandmother or a mom who packs Tupperwares of kimchi and individually portioned out meats in your fridge? Well, don't you worry, young kimchi. Mama Doobie has Gochugaru. In this video, we're gonna go over how spending maximum 2 hours is going to save you almost a week's long worth of stress so you can become your own Korean mommy. Possible side effects of meal prepping like a Korean include saying "don't yuck my yum" every day, heartburn from garlic, and your fridge smelling like kimchi. Viewer discretion advised. Meal prep gets a bad rep from the foodie community, and understandably so, after the gym rat community did it extremely dirty with meals like this. Evidence A, dehydrated chicken breast, rice. Evidence B, boiled chicken breast, brown rice, unidentified goo. And evidence C, chickpeas, naked, ball, presumably mozzarella, unsure. I'm sure this is packed with protein, and it can be great if you're trying to hit a certain weight goal, and I commend people who can stick to this and be disciplined. But for me, I need something more sustainable and enjoyable because good food is a big motivation. I don't eat to live, I live to eat. Therefore, here are 4 requirements for my meal prep. 1. I do not like to repeat meals more than twice. 2. Have balanced meals incorporated with lots of veggies, protein, and carbs. 3. Under 5 minutes to assemble and less than 2 dishes each time. 4. Not feel like meal prep. Okay, let's jump right into step 1, planning. Here are some questions you need to ask yourself. What's in my fridge currently? How many meals am I going to make? And what am I going to make? So let's do current inventory first. Fridge this clean usually? Absolutely not. But for the sake of this video, I cleaned it up. So here are usually like my ferment section. I have doenjang and miso up top, dairy and egg. So I have butter, some parm, some eggs, I have some leftover bacon, tofu that I really need to use soon, a little bit of kimchi. This usually does last me around a week, but I want to make sure I have like aged kimchi. So I'm going to make another batch today. I have some woodier mushroom and ginger and some cut up daikon. Obviously, I have my cabbage because she is my baby and I like to eat my own babies. And we have some citruses here, apples, leafy greens, a napa cabbage that I need to use. So this is the one that I'm going to make into kimchi. Some scallions, some carrots, and some mushrooms as well. And this is the condiment section. I have peanut butter in the fridge, which aggravated a lot of people, but you should actually be keeping it in the fridge. So let's write out everything that's in the fridge that needs to be used by this week. I like to divide what I like to make in 4 components. So the first and most important component is going to be the rice. I'm gonna make purple mixed grain rice, the mixed grain into the shopping cart like that. The second component is going to be banchan. And banchan, for those who are unfamiliar, are Korean side dishes. You know when you go to Korean barbecue and you get all the different side dishes? And this week for banchan, I'm gonna do blanched broccoli, a mayak egg, and I'm also going to do a fast-style kimchi called gochujang. I always like to stock up my fridge with kimchi because your girl is Korean, come on. And if you don't have the condiments, some of the things that you should consider investing in are things like Gochugaru, Gochujang, soy sauce, fish sauce, sesame oil. Let's move on to the third component, soups and stews. And let's make some of my favorites, Soondubu and Jjajang sauce. What's really great about doing these two is that the core ingredients are very similar and they're also very versatile. Both soups uses tofu, and that's going to pack in a lot of extra plant protein into your meal. And you can also put in whatever you have in your fridge from before, so it's a really great way to clean out your fridge as well. Fourth component, stir fry. This week, my choice of protein is going to be chicken, and I'm going to be making two sauces. One is going to be a sweet soy bulgogi sauce, and then the other is going to be a spicy Dakgalbi sauce. We're going to go grocery shopping now. Organic mixed grains, $15. 2 sweet potatoes, around $1.20. 1 zucchini, $1. Onion, $3.5. Chicken thighs, $5. Organic rice cakes, $4. Bean paste, $1. Spicy, $7 because I want it. And we are done with groceries. This is everything I got. And my total groceries only actually came out to $20. Okay, let's start prepping. And you always want to start with what has the longest wait time, and that is going to be kimchi. And you want to start by cutting the cabbage leaves, kind of like a cross section on top on what I like to call the poopy butthole. 1, 2. Easy peasy. And I'm just gonna cut this into rough chunks. And into this, I'm gonna put a half a cup of sea salt to really draw out the moisture and make the cabbages wilt a bit. That's what really preserves kimchi and allows it to ferment. And you wanna just gently massage the salt in, kind of pressing it down to almost damage some of the fibers so that through osmosis, the water can come out of the cabbage leaves. And we're gonna drain that. And you're not gonna be consuming all the salt too. This is just the initial process to draw out the moisture so that we can preserve it. And I'm just gonna cover it with water so that this can really brine well. And this is gonna just sit for 30 minutes. And the next thing that's gonna take the most time is going to be the rice. Let's talk pot rice. And I'm here to make a few things clear. For pot rice, you need a heavy-duty pot. You want something very sturdy and heavy and trustworthy. And that should be the same in your taste in men. I'm going to do a 2-to-3 ratio of mixed grain to white rice. The reason why I do a 2-to-3 ratio for the mixed grain to rice ratio is because the mixed grains give you flavor, texture, as well as the micronutrients. You want to wash the rice until the water runs clear, and that's about 6 to 7 times. This is to ensure that the rice is not gummy, but it's nice and fluffy. For regular white rice, you want to do 1 to 1.1, but for mixed grains, it definitely does need a little longer cook time and a little more water, so 1 to 1.2 for this mixture. I do like to let it set for about 30 minutes so that the rice can absorb the moisture and gets evenly plump, and that also reduces the cook time. Next, let's prepare the produce. And you want to work with vegetables first and then go into protein so that you can also avoid cross-contamination. And obviously, if you have any allergies, make sure you swap your cutting boards or clean it really, really well thoroughly so that nobody dies. Don't die! And these are gonna sweat down and become tiny and shriveled up like something else I know on a cold winter's day. Kevin. Zucchini. Chopped. And the stems I'm going to use to braise. These are definitely a little bit tougher, so I'm going to put it into the jjajang sauce so that it can really break down some of the harsh fibers. Also, with most things in life, I like it skin on. So all the veggies should take around 30 minutes to chop, which means that the rice has finished soaking. And I'm going to show you how plump the rice looks after it's been soaking. Look at that. Very different. It's almost risen 50% in volume. Now that the rice has finished soaking, we're going to steam it. And to really ensure the steam doesn't go out of the lid, I like to cover it up like so. And you want to put it on medium-high until it comes to a boil. And once it does, you want to drop the heat immediately and let it steam for 15 minutes. The peppers. I'm gonna go to the garden and quickly grab it. Come with me. I'm gonna be using these in my Mayak Gyeran. We're gonna put this seed in because I'm Korean. We're gonna go on to preparing our protein. I'm just gonna cube these tofu up and cut the bacon. Now is the time to make the sauces. You want to make the sauces in the order of what uses the least amount of ingredients to most, especially if you're using a food processor and you don't want to clean it out each time. Half cup soy, half onion, 2 tablespoons sugar, 2 tablespoons rice wine. Divide half of it out, and I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of gochujang and 1 tablespoon of honey for the Dakgalbi sauce. A little over a tablespoon. And I'm gonna pre-mix these with the onions. So half goes in here, and the other half goes in here. Also gonna do some carrots. Just like that. And I'm going to put the vegetables in a separate container so that they don't get so soggy. And I even individually pack these out so that I just have to grab 2 things and that's it. Half cup gochugaru, 1/4 cup fish sauce, 5 cloves garlic, 2 tablespoons honey, 1 knoblet of ginger, and we grind. Ooh, she thick! Let's kimchi. Look how gorgeous that looks. So good. Oh, okay, I'm gonna pack this down. Wow, she's pretty, isn't she? I just know I'm gonna be a menace as a mother. This is gonna be my ultimate weapon. Wow, this is a good pot of rice. Fluffy, but sticky at the same time. You do not need a rice cooker to make good rice. And we are going to portion these out. Korean mom currency equals plastic containers. I'm rich in rice. Bye-bye. We're gonna make both of our stews. Into the hot pot goes a generous amount of oil. I'm going to add our bacon to crisp it up. So now that some of the oil has come out of it, I'm gonna add in the onion, some of the green onion as well, and just sweat it down a little bit. Once it's looking translucent, you wanna add the rest of the vegetables in. And give this a nice mix. While these are cooking down, blanch the broccoli. And this is gonna blanch for 1 to 2 minutes. And I'm gonna let this cool down. We're not gonna season it or do anything. I like to season it right before I eat it with a little bit of salt and sesame oil and sesame seeds. Now to the same water, I'm going to boil the eggs. 7 minutes. This is looking and smelling really good. I'm going to take out half of the veggie for the jjajang sauce. We're gonna deglaze the pan with a little bit of soy sauce. And to this, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of gochugaru. Okay. Just gonna let the gochugaru toast. You can see the chili oil coming out. Deglaze the pan. You can use stock, but I'm gonna just use water today. And the main flavoring agent for Soondubu is going to be the fish sauce, 2 tablespoons. And once it's coming to a simmer, you wanna drop the tofu in. I'm gonna add half of the tofu. You usually use soft, silken tofu. It's kind of like an amalgamation between mapo tofu and Soondubu. Perfect. This is going to go in this tray. So I took out all the eggs and these are just cooling down. Into the same pot, a little more oil in and put the cabbages in. Once the cabbage is looking translucent, you want to add the black bean paste. You just want to toast it gently. A bit of soy sauce to deglaze the pan and also give that nice smoky aroma. And into this goes the rest of the ingredients. I also like to crumble it up. The crumbled tofu texture is very similar to ground beef texture. See, it almost looks like chili. And now I'm gonna add the water in. A swirl of dark soy to give it that nice dark color, and a tiny bit more soy because cooked soy and fresh soy taste different. Finally, the most important part goes in. So this is a potato starch slurry. What this does is thicken the sauce and make it glossy. Already it's looking super thick and glossy. Almost done. We have the eggs left because I'm a overachiever. I'm gonna kill the heat. And same thing as the Soondubu, I'm gonna put it into a large baking tray and let it cool. Let's peel these eggies. They're perfect! But the reason why it's peeling so easily is because I cold shocked them in ice water as soon as they came out. And it helps it release from the shell a lot easier. 1 cup soy, half cup water, 2 tablespoons vinegar, 2 tablespoons sugar. I want to kind of mix it in. I'm going to add the chilies in and the rest of the green onions. I actually didn't end up using all the onions, so I'm also going to put some in. I'm just going to add a little more soy so that everything is nice and covered. And you want to make sure everything is submerged down so that the eggs take on even color. And you are set for almost 2 weeks! Not have to worry about food! So this is everything that I made in the last 3 hours. Realistically, this usually keeps me fed for 2 weeks. The core essentials that I love to have, and it just makes me much less anxious when I'm going about my week, knowing that there's really good food in my fridge. These are homey comfort dishes that I always crave for. This is our Soondubu jjigae, Jjajang sauce, 2 types of kimchi, 1 Gochugaru, 1 seokbakji, a fast-style radish kimchi popular in Busan, 1 Dakgalbi dak bulgogi with the sweet soy marinade, the additional ingredients that are going to be cooked with these 2, as well as some Mayak eggs, which are Korean-style soy pickled eggs. And we obviously have our mixed grain rice here. What a spread, right? I'm really proud. Hopefully, this is helpful for anyone who's living alone or missing a taste of home, or if you really want to try Korean food and don't know where to begin. I'm gonna have all these recipes linked in my website, and I'm also going to have a link to a little Google Doc with how I meal prepped and some of the ingredients and how you can get started on meal prepping. Thank you. Bye-bye. Stay full. This was assembled in less than 10 minutes. Oh, my favorite part is definitely the rice cakes and the sweet potato. So good. Dakgalbi is so easy. And the meat is so tender and juicy and so well seasoned too. That's it. Easy as pie. So delicious. Kimchi's so good. It's ripened really, really well. Mm. I'm hungry. I'm going to just quickly heat up some mapo tofu today. Ooh, scrumptious. Mama! Whee! I'm gonna top it off with an extra egg for extra protein. This is ready to fish out, so. Not my precious scallions. Wow. What was that? Wow, look at that. So pretty. Bloop. A bit of the soy sauce as well. Ugh. So happy with how this egg turned out. I just drizzle over a little bit of sesame oil because I'm Korean. Recession times. Recession times. Oh, hold on. I know I'm not the most aesthetic looking, and food that's looking a little bit more different than my aesthetic shorts, but this to me is what I want, and it satisfies my needs. Okay, Daddy? Just what I needed.